Hey folks, it's Patriot Nurse. In today's segment, I want to discuss with you guys poultices, what they're used for, and how they can save you not only a ton of misery and suffering, but also money as well. So what brings this about is that, number one, East Tennessee did not have a good hard winter in this last round, and so as a consequence of B resulted in there being lots of bugs, specifically lots of stinging insects that yours truly has recently had an encounter with. Reed and I have been working non-stop outside on the farm, and I was actually inside the barn, and I was working with the drill, and I put my hand in a shadow, which the shadow had a wasp nest in it. Did not see it. Thank God it wasn't terrible, but I ended up using the poultices and the applications that I'm going to show you today to significantly decrease on the amount of pain and suffering that I ended up experiencing. But I want to share this with you guys because, number one, it's cheap, two, it's effective, and three, it can travel with you anywhere you go. To be direct, we're going to have a lot of trouble in the future months and years for sure with the healthcare debacle. The Democrats, of course, do what they do, which is to make a victim out of everybody and empower themselves, and in doing so, they strip the basic ability to have affordable healthcare away from everybody by creating it as a right? Gotta love being protected, right? So I want to talk with you today and show you, I'm going to take you to my herb corner. I want to show you how I prepare these different concoctions, if you will, and just show you cheap and easy stuff that you can get a hold of and some little tips and tricks along the way in making effective poultices, which are essentially, to define my terms here, a poultice is a prepared herbal mash, if you will, a prepared herbal mash that you apply to the skin and cover with something to keep it from running off everywhere, applying it to the skin for the purposes of delivering its medicinal properties to the underlying tissue, okay? And so that's what we're doing today. And a poultice has, well, they've fallen out of favor and fad in recent years for really a couple reasons, but the main one is that they don't make certain companies a lot of money. And because they don't make them a lot of money, they're not going to be, I guess, marketed to different healthcare providers. But a poultice can be just as effective, if not more so, than many traditional over-the-counter preparations for skin irritation, stings, bites, things like that. So what I want to do is to show you today some of the things that I mix and how I make them, and a few little tips and tricks along the way. So let's get started. Well, folks, we are back in herbal land. I'm going to show you some of the things that I've done to make poultices. First off, this little leaf down here, this is broadleaf plantain. And if you notice, the broadleaf plantain here is a weed commonly found in gardens and really in lawns. I don't know why in the world you'd want to plant it because it kind of grows everywhere. But if you are out somewhere away from home and you get stung or bit by something, you can actually make a quick poultice by taking the leaves and just kind of chomp, 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 like chewing them up, or like cutting them. You can use a spoon, or actually, if you've got it, you can bruise it with a mortar and pestle here. But if you apply this topically to the area where you've gotten bit, it'll help to draw the poison out, and it'll also help to decrease the amount of pain and decrease streaking as well, God forbid. Sure signs of cellulitis we want to try and avoid. Now for stings, plantain is pretty much king. After you've put the plantain on the wound, you're going to have to secure it some way. And I really like these. These are, it's funny, the little things that you kind of pick up and mix from nursing versus the natural world. But these are Tegaderms. I'll put a link in the description box below. They have bunches of different sizes. I would recommend getting really a smattering of all of them. This one, I think these are 4 by, yeah, this is a 4 by 4.5, but they have 2 by 2 3/4. They also have some big ones that are like, I want to say 6 by 8, and I have those too. Those are useful for larger areas. But these, let me show you the back here. They have like a little peeling sticker area here. This is essentially a soft, removable, clear, transparent film that stays in place, and that's really helpful for poultices, especially if you're active and you got stuff to do. I can't sit there waddling around with saran wrap wrapped on my leg all day long, so that's not going to work. I like to secure the poultices with Tegaderms. Now, what you'll see here is a smattering of some of the herbs that I've used here. And whenever you're dealing with inflammation, definitely threatened tissue damage, like suspect cellulitis, things like that, if you can't get to help or you can't afford it or whatever the case may be, marshmallow root is a wonderful, wonderful herb to put into the mix here. Whenever I make my poultice for inflammation, marshmallow, slippery elm, mullein is definitely part of it, and also just depending on how it is. Chamomile is really helpful for burns and also for sunburns, okay? It takes the, how shall I say this? It takes the pain out of the wound. It doesn't, if there's poison in there, it doesn't draw the poison to a head. The plantain really draws poison out of wounds, but the chamomile here takes the pain out of them, and it's been really helpful for me. I've gotten some really nasty burns this summer. And mullein here is another thing to add. If you're going to make a poultice for inflammation, I really recommend marshmallow root with slippery elm, added mullein, and your choice of either chamomile or lavender. And one of the things that I like to do is to put in a little bit of cayenne as an accelerant to get this stuff to where it needs to be. So let me just kind of, oh gosh, I got to do this holding the camera. Look at this, it's just magical. So what I do, I very rarely will use the little scoops here, but marshmallow is going to form the backbone of this. Now my surface area for application here is smaller than this bandage, so I'm probably going to have a little bit left over. Essentially what you want to do is make this sort of like oatmeal. So I put marshmallow root, I'll put probably a couple of teaspoons in here. Big heaping one, that'll be fine. Always add a good pinch of mullein. Actually, I want a little bit more than that. And today I'm feeling like chamomile. And actually, why not? Just throw it in there. People get so anal retentive about little recipes. Like, bottom line is, folks, you're doing a service to your body, okay? Like, I don't think it's going to revolt here against you. You don't have to, it's not a cake, okay? If you don't get your baking soda proportion just right, it's not gonna fall on you, okay? And then you can tear it up. Actually, I'm just gonna put it in here. Why? Mash, 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 mash. Gotta bruise these things, just kind of grind it. There we go. Put that in there. The juice is what you really want out of these things, the juice. And then you're gonna take your heated, whoo, hot. You're gonna take your heated water here and just kind of pour it and make a mash out of it. And I'll show you what that looks like here. Yeah, it's gonna take just a minute. It will, I want it to be the consistency, and this marshmallow root may take a minute. Marshmallow soaks up a lot of this stuff. I want it to be the consistency of like oatmeal. Well, I don't know how you eat your oatmeal, but I don't like it watery. Like, I like it firm. There we go. Oh yeah. And then I'll put a little bit of cayenne in the mixture here. Just a few drops. 6, 7, perfect. That'll help it get to where it needs to go. And then we'll just apply. What I'm gonna do, and it wouldn't be decent for me to film this, like actually I couldn't even film this putting on my leg, but what we're gonna do here is to take this, I'm going to apply it to the bite area, and then I'm gonna cover it with the Tegaderm so that way it stays on there. And that's how you do it. I hope y'all enjoyed the video today. If you did, please subscribe to me, Patriot Nurse, and also you can like me on Facebook. If you're interested in learning more, come out to class. I teach 4 days the combo Medical Prep 101, 201, and 301, which covers nutrition, herbs, and old school disease, what you saw today and more in my 4-day class. And where I teach the 4-day class is Knoxville, Tennessee. I've had to adjust my teaching schedule on the road because one of the many reasons is I just can't physically be away from home that long anymore. And if you want to come and train with me, Knoxville is going to be the best place to do that. Knoxville, Tennessee. You can do 101 and 201. You can do 101, 201, and 301. Or if you've already had Medical Prep 101 and 201, then you can take 301 as a standalone. So check out the schedule at the website if you're interested. I'd love to see you there. For now, it's Patriot Nurse signing off, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.